Hi, I'm Ed Barrie. I'm the Chief Product and Strategy Officer at Treasury 4. I've been a Treasury practitioner for over 20 years and have held senior Treasury leadership roles at Microsoft, Itron, Tableau Software, and Salesforce, where I've had responsibility for Treasury technology, Treasury integrations, not just with banks, but other systems used across the office of the CFO and financial technology stack. And I would say at this point in time, Treasury is undergoing a major transition, a major shift within its role in the organization. Treasury is being redefined. It's being redefined because of the need for the organization to have faster decision cycles, greater collaboration with the business, being a business enabler, help the business grow and manage risk. And there's just a lot more strategic demands being placed on Treasury, all with increasing complexity of systems, of data, of cycle times, and importantly, the use and application in tangible ways of artificial intelligence and machine learning. I've spent the first half of this year attending many Treasury conferences and presenting on different topics, including 2 Eurofinance conferences, the Texpo Summit, Windy City Summit, and Northwest Summit recently. And there's 3 themes that have resounded loudly at those conferences. AI above all else. AI is the topic of today, and organizations are looking for tangible ways. Treasury teams are being tasked and, in fact, demanded to find tangible use cases for the use of AI. The second theme is data. Treasury teams are struggling to get their hands around more and more data to make strategic decisions, to drive operational reconciliation, and probably most importantly, the use in more precision-based cash flow forecasting. And the third thing is compression of time. Treasury is being asked to respond and answer questions almost in near time. And so how does Treasury speed up that ability to answer questions, provide strategic insight for the organization from line of business, Treasury operations, to even board level reporting, and especially up to the CFO, a key stakeholder and key constituent for Treasury. And so as we look at those things and think about in today's world, how can AI be leveraged? How can APIs shorten cycle time for getting data? And how can Treasury get their hands on more and more data? And then how can AI be applied across all of that? And that really requires a rethink of your Treasury technology landscape. Old tools, older processes, legacy tools, legacy processes are not up to the task of the needs of Treasury today. And it also requires a mindset from Treasury to lean in, become centers of excellence in your organization on the tangible use of AI, on how to leverage data as a strategic asset for the organization, and how to drive more value, more insight, and understand and reduce risk appropriately for the organization, leveraging these technologies. And I would say, a lot of people ask me, where do I start? How do I even get started in understanding what do I have and where do I go? And I would say it starts with a good old-fashioned audit, really starting with a Treasury landscape audit. Take the time, even drawing it out on paper, old school paper. What are all the systems, the financial technology systems used across your organization? Not just an ERP system, not just a treasury management system, but what are all the systems that are used across your organization? It could be things like investment accounting, investment custody. It could be merchant processing, corporate travel, foreign exchange trading. Maybe it's month-end close management, period-end close management, or the FP&A tool set. What are all the different tools and sources of data that your organization has access to? And I would expand that to include an audit of all of the external financial service partners that you work with. Who are all your banks? Who are the investment custodians, the investment data providers, maybe the different foreign exchange providers if you're doing foreign exchange and payment processing, and bring that together really in a dashboard, as it were, a schematic showing all of these systems, the flow of data across your organization. Do you really understand all of that? Then be thinking about, how do I leverage that structure and optimize it? I can optimize it for operational improvements, whether it's automated cash visibility, transaction reconciliation, transaction categorization, but also being able to leverage that data for improved cash flow forecasting, understanding all of your financial accounts, not just bank accounts, but what are all the other financial accounts and legal entities of your organization? How do you leverage that data for analytical uses, whether it's scenario planning for the organization, understanding and planning for interest rate risk or foreign exchange risk, working capital, and increasingly, given today's world, supply chain, not just the physical supply chain, but your financial supply chain for the organization. How do you have insight? How do you understand the touch points across your organization? And then leveraging all of that really for the strategic aspect that Treasury is having a greater seat at the table and being asked to be a key supporter, a key resource for strategic decisions for the organization, whether it's capital markets, M&A, or board level communication. Helping educate the organization where you have gaps at in your roadmap and your vision to having a real-time Treasury, a real-time data-driven, AI-enabled Treasury ecosystem for your organization, and really educate your organization on where you need to modernize at. What are the systems? What are the data feeds? What is your strategic vision to modernize not just Treasury, but the broader office of the CFO? If you have questions on how to do that, or would like to look at or like to receive some of our schematics where we've taken our customers and partners on this journey of documenting their system and technology and data flow landscape, please reach out to us. We would love to help. Thank you.